Yes. This is a good idea. This is kind of a good segue, though. Mason posted, I believe it was a customer's soil test.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I were talking about it, and Stroby and I were talking about it. What's the best thing to do? Plant it and forget about it. Why?
You asking me why?
I know why.
I thought you were going to answer your
I
own
know
question.
what. No, this is yeah, no. Go ahead.
Well, for one, he's in the West. The limiting factor for him is going to be how much does it rain and when does it rain.
He's only gotten 4 inches rain this year.
When does it rain?
Mm-hmm.
You can raise a crop on 10 inches.
Okay.
Corn, really good one, if it rains at the right point.
Sure.
Rain, get it up, get it nearly tassel, and then rain all the rest of it between that right before tassel to ear fill, and you have great corn on 10 inches. If it all rains in that right time.
Sure.
So out there, we're not going to get 40, except for last year, and it does just in my area.
Right. That was in 30 days.
Yeah, all on the front end.
Yes. So you went completely anaerobic, then you went completely dry.
I just basically gave up last year.
Last year was dead.
Yeah, I planted one field like 4 times.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a really good week to not call Ben.
I was just getting tired of planting it. I didn't really give a crap if it made anything. It's just tired of planting the damn thing.
What are you doing planting this field? Didn't you just plant that field? Yes, I did. Shut up.
Yep. And it was rough.
Yes.
God, it was rough.
Yep.
Because the water had run through there, and it was a no-till, but the water had run through there so stinking bad, it still washed gullies.
No-till fixes everything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I think no-till's great in certain circumstances, but I have a lot that it don't work very good either.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So where are we at time-wise? We've been here for hours. We've been here for hours.
So, yeah, when to pull the plug. But that's going to be for a Western deal and if you're irrigated.
Yeah, very regionally circumstantial.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's turn this more towards where it does rain. Just use me for example. It's been raining where I'm at. I can't say people call my place Little Iowa because it rains a lot in a very weird area of the country where around me it doesn't rain. So when do I pull the plug? Like this. Okay, let's use fungicide this year. I kept asking you and Johnny and Stroberg and a couple other guys, man, do I run fungicide? Do I run fungicide? Do I run fungicide? As markets are going down and down and down and down and down. I might have to raise more bushels just to pay for the application. And we get to a certain point, we were soft dough, and I was getting ready to run a pass of melted urea, humic, fulvic, kelp, etc., blah, blah, blah. Do I run fungicide? And the general consensus was, no, your plants are healthy. And we had a little bit of common rust, just a tiny bit. I only found it in one field. And so the thing is how do we, and I was worried. I was freaking out. The bridge, I had bridge syndrome. I was standing on the edge of the bridge looking, do I jump?
Sam was going to check you in to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Mental hospital. Yeah, the other one just...
The rust is coming, the rust is coming.
Floated down the creek. But anyway, I elected not to do it because, as Johnny said, by the time you have enough disease come in to make a difference on yield loss, your corn is going to be far enough along that it's probably not going to actually affect your crop. And if so, it would be, say, 1% loss. Well, 1% on 100 bushel corn, it's better than that, but...
It's a bushel.
What?
1% on 100 bushel.
Yeah.
Is a bushel.
$3.83 right now.
Doesn't even pay for half the app.
Yeah, that's right. It pays for a third, actually. It's $11 an acre.
Damn, you guys' app's high.
Yeah,
but you got small fields.
I paid him extra to run 5 gallons an acre.
Oh,
I think it was an extra. I think he's $9.50. I think he's $9.50 for
that sounds about
2
right.
gallons, and then if you want 5 gallons, it was an extra $1.50 or something like that. But anyway, and so we didn't run it, And dude, I was out there 4 days later, and there was more rust. I'm like, we're dead. And everyone's like, you're not dead. And so I was thinking, man, do I come back and run a fungicide? Because I'm using, I mean, I was like, I kept disassociating myself from the current market setting. And that was, I was finding it harder to make an actual financial decision that was a correct financial decision with and separating emotion from it. I've got great looking crop. I've got rust in here. I should run fungicide because that's just what we do. And I had a neighbor that ran fungicide because he saw a plane running across my field. His corn was almost black layer.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out I had to go through a couple people just to find this out. He saw a plane running on my farm, on my fields, on my corn, and he assumed I was running fungicide, so he called in a plane and ran fungicide on his. And I'm like, and it finally came down. I'm like, okay, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
I find that a lot of this stuff has been designed around a standard.
Yes.
So you get these universities or you get even backs, and they're going out there and planting 34,000. You plant 34,000, everything matters because it's overcrowded. You can't supply enough nutrition naturally. You no longer can breathe, so now you have infestations of everything and all these other deals. So then it starts mattering a lot. But how many people plant 34 anymore? Well, in our group, a lot is quit doing that.
Yeah.
We've gone way down.
Yep.
Then a lot less matters, even to the point hail matters less the thinner you get, because it goes into the canopy further. What leaves you do have actually gather sunlight. The thicker it gets, the worse it is. So for us, we're cutting pop because that's the area that actually increases efficiency drastically to where rust and stuff doesn't matter as much. Now it blows through there, but also it blows through there daily, keeping it a little less
aerated.
Mm-hmm.
So
the more you microclimate the region, the worse it gets.
Right.
For that. And then it also overloads the biome. The biome can't support it. So then you're pumping more phos and you're pumping more potassium and more N because it can't support it. You've got an unnatural thing going. I don't care if you're soil health or not. You're unnatural. It's not designed to grow that thick because we see corn all the time. Like plant on the N, I've seen 6 years on one plant.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time.
Ethan sent me a picture from last year, came up in memories. I think it was 6 years on a plant.
Yeah. I sent you one. There's four ears on one node.
Yeah.
They're stacked on top of each other.
That's true.
That corn plant will do an amazing thing if you let it. But if you're just going to go in there and do what the seed company wants you to do, then you're going to be spending even more money, considering the seed companies develop a lot of the chemistries.
Oh, surely not. You're not telling me that chemical companies actually own any of the seed companies. We're going to get shot. Gosh dang it. Oh, well.
Well, we get 15,000 popcorn, and it'd still do 200.
There are people screaming right now that you just said that. Screaming.
My best irrigated's 20. Some of my best looking irrigated. It's got 40 pounds of N on it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got busy and forgot about it. It looks great. Actually, didn't even spray it for mites either, which is a major thing we fight. The thinner it is, the less likely you are to spray mites.
Okay. That doesn't mean don't scout.
Yeah.
Because someone will be like,
yeah, it has BLS in it, bacterial leaf streak.
Yeah.
And it has, I think, a tiny bit of gray leaf.
Do you think BLS can really nail yield?
I've never seen it. I've had 300 bushel and it full of BLS, so I thought it was going to kill it.
Was that when the ear or the leaf turns kind of that orangish yellowy?
It looks so much like gray leaf. It's ridiculous. It's very difficult to tell the difference, except for the edge of the lesion. It gets in there. And it's not ideal. I don't know. Maybe it's like moles. They don't really hurt you most of the time. They're just there.
We're dead.
BLS is not a problem now.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't seem to be a problem anyway.
We're fine.
But you get other ones like Gauss wilt or something. That is a big problem.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.